How much do you guys go to different kinds of sessions? Do you typically go to flow or do you go to focus? And what do you guys usually do? I mean, I only lead flow, so I don't see the others. I'm wondering what it's like.
I do all of the different, yeah, whether it be flow, focus, fundamentals. I think I do a bit more flow, but sometimes that is just because of timing.
Yeah.
Though also I feel like in flow, there's a way you can kind of rest a bit more, and I enjoy that sometimes.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah.
but then anytime I do a focus or even fundamentals, I'm like, oh, I gotta do this more.
What do you like about focus?
What do I like about focus?
Uh-huh.
Um, when I am focusing on others, it 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 really it gives me a challenge to ask more questions because that's something that there is a fear around asking questions that I've sort of grown up with, that I've discovered. So it helps work that muscle.
Yeah.
Um, and then being focused, you're able to, what is it? There's sort of more space to explore my experience or someone else's experience in maybe even like a slower and more detailed way.
Mhm. Yeah.
And often, even if I'm coming in, almost always, if I'm coming in and I get focused at the beginning, even if I'm like extremely activated or I don't know what's going on with me, by the end of my focus, I've gone on an entire journey, and I've reached the other side of something, and there's almost always some form of relief and sense of relief that I'll experience. And in flows too, that will happen as well a lot. But it's very prominent in focus.
And just for anybody that doesn't know, focus is where the group focuses their attention on one person and what it's like for us to be with that person, and also what we're curious about or what we're noticing or how is it to be with that person. Um, and and in some way they're the object of our meditation. And as it's 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 not like I'll leave me to be with that person. We bring ourselves to be with that person. And in some way, it's still it's a group practice at the same time. And I get things out of being with that person.
There's that quote you say sometimes, I can't remember, something like, "There's nothing foreign to man that's foreign to me."
There's nothing common to man that's foreign to me. Yeah.
And that's
Uh,
really alive in the focus session. Folks,
yes.
everybody else, and then it's like, how is this true for me too?
Yes. Yes.
And for the person who receives the attention, it's also it's priceless because it's like you have this space to explore yourself and have access, like there are like mirrors of your own experience, so I get to see my own experience through every person in the call as well. Maybe I'm exploring a situation and I'm mostly with grief, can happen. Someone else's reflect as anger,
Mhm.
and someone else's the sadness, and someone else's the, oh, this ended. There is a world of possibilities. Like, and someone else's expresses or reflects back at me, oh, there is joy here. So at the end of the day, it's also like it's like a present because even if I'm grieving and I get to be with my grief, I get these windows or these glimpses of, oh, this can also be this and that, and this anger and this sadness, and I yeah, it's I really value focus sessions, and when you are not the person who's being focused, but you are focusing, like, you get to see that for them as well, and that helps you or gives you perspective. It's endless, the gifts, in my opinion, or the opportunities. Yeah.
Anybody want to describe fundamentals or what you like about fundamentals?
I think I rarely go to fundamental sessions other than Jane's Saturday morning, which is completely not fundamentals. It's more floatamentals. Yeah, but I think a lot of people perceive it to be like baseline, like this is kind of how we do it, like a beginner's class, I guess, or something like that. But like I said, I don't have a lot of experience with fundamentals.
Yeah, there's a way that it's like the building blocks of the practice where you're doing noticing and skillful projecting, where we're always projecting on people, but we actually know we're projecting, and we say, "I'm imagining this is going on," and we check it out. Is that true? One of those basic muscles that's amazing, and because we think we know what's going on with somebody, and the reality is we don't. And either asking questions, share an impact, or sharing your projection, finding out if it's true, are just skillful things to learn. I do have a secret. My secret is that I've been doing this since 2014. But once in a while, I'll drop in on fundamentals just because there's an intimacy in fundamentals. You're breaking out one-on-one in a way that I really love. And so sometimes I'll sneak into a session, yeah, as a participant.
It's good to be reminded of the basics, what's foundational to the practice, because it's so helpful.
Absolutely.
I think I'm remembering back to when I first started, and was doing more fundamentals, or it's come into my awareness now, but like when we would practice the popcorn style and breakouts, and we would just say anything that came to our minds, and it was like a real eye opener about how much I was projecting. Like I had no awareness that I was projecting before having like simple practices like that. And it was fun. It was fun to see it. It made it easier. It was softer receiving my projections, and yeah, it was just again another. It's like an eye opener.
Mm-hmm.
There is also, for me, I remember one of the, I think, biggest impacts or the biggest eye-opening thing that happened for me was the owning your own experience. That was life-changing for me. It completely shifted the way, like, I relate to others. Like, it's such a subtle switch in language, but it's massive. It's like going from you make me angry to being here with you, I feel anger. Like there is an ownership of my anger. And that doesn't disregard the experience of maybe the situation was brought by someone else, or if there is unfair or not. Like it's not disregarding anything else, but that little switch of, okay, this heat feeling I'm feeling right now in my chest is my anger. And it's such a way of it opens up everything. Like there is a huge difference when I come to someone that I love, and I say you make me angry versus I feel anger. It's such a, I don't know. It's like the difference is massive.
Yeah, one say they're a perpetrator. They're a perpetrator, and they've done something to you.
Yeah.
And the other one is like stepping in, sharing an intimacy of what's happening with an openness to find out what's going on.
Yeah. And even there, if there is anger or whatever the situation is, like for me, it shows more love to myself and to the person I'm talking to, because it's like I'm owning myself, I'm holding myself, and I'm not blaming directly. So it might happen that we avoid this defensive response so that there is space for conversation.
Yes.
And like, and that's almost a miracle. Like, just imagine maybe with your mother or your boyfriend, your brother. Like, it saves families. So, like for me, yes, for sure.
Yeah, because there's something when we feel like we're being blamed, we get defensive, we get rooted in our position, we become on opposite sides, and yeah, it just anchors in. You're over there, and I'm over here now.
Mhm.
It's just so different.
And yeah, and then we're both riding that trigger wave that's inevitable. That we have to wait it out, and it's just yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so tense. Just I feel there is more space to navigate the situation, more openness, like even if it's rough and uncomfortable.
Yeah. But it's still collaborative. In a way, you're offering what's happening for you up for you to look at with the other person. Uh, and yeah.
I really like that word, collaborative, Val. It rings true. How do we relate in a way that's collaborative?
With whatever's going on. And when someone steps in, they're angry and they're angry in connection with me, but they step in a way that owns it. I'm much more likely to look at how did I contribute? Did I contribute here? And to be able to say, I did do this and I'm sorry. That's not how I meant that, or whatever's going on. Or yeah, I'm angry too. What's here for us, Uh, entirely different way to do life. It's so much better. Oh my God.
It's like it cuts the air of the fight. Like there is no air for that fire. But so there is a conflict, but it's not an escalated fight.
We haven't really described flow. We talked about flow, but we didn't describe flow. In some ways, flow is the most advanced practice because the attention moves from person to person, but it sometimes it stays with a person. Each person is trusting their experience in connection with other people. It's kind of a mysterious animal, but I can always see a weaving in it. At some point, I can see how the threads are weaving something, but at the beginning, sometimes it's hard to know, right? It works different muscles that I love. I remember when I started, it was something like, if you've had two people, holding a jump rope and two people held the rope and you're trying to time coming in to jump, it had that feeling of trying to figure out how to enter. And that muscle is a great one to learn, that being able to come in, and sometimes you mess it up, you speak at the same time somebody else speaks. It's happened here, right? And we're like, no, it's all fine. It works. And getting comfortable with that, and with it's almost like an unknown in a way, but you start feeling the vibe of the group. I Getting into flow with it in a way. Um,
I'm also thinking that we have the men's flow and the women's flow. So there's like different flows that you can attend that might be more or less comfortable. And provide more opportunity for growth, But like in the women's flow, it feels a lot different than a mixed group flow. And
mhm. We're coming to the end of the time that you guys have set aside, and I just want you to know how appreciative we are that you would be willing to show up here and talk about this. It means so much to us that you would do this for us and be willing for us to use your voice and your face to market. This practice means so much to us. And Renee, thank you. I'm terrible at marketing. Thank you for being willing and going, Valerie, I'm going to drag your carcass in here and we're going to do this thing. And then I get here and I love it. It's like, oh, I love talking about these practices. I love being with these humans. I love all this. But, yeah.
Yeah. Thanks, everyone. It's so nice to be with you and talk about this thing we love.
thank you.
Thank you. Great to see you guys.
Thank you.